we, us is new, and the way I have perceived it and the way I've talked to my mom about it, some of my friends about it, is physically we are separated in these physical vessels, but energetically our souls are all intrinsically connected and intertwined. So we, us, when utilized for myself, it just makes myself feel so connected to everything and very validated.
I can smell that video.
Hey, brothers and sisters, it's your friendly neighborhood hippie here with a message of peace. We can stop this knife fight if we all join hands and visualize a big hug in the sky.
Not sure what drugs she's on, but whatever they are, she should do different ones.
Yeah, I want to chase light. Ugh. Walk around without a shirt, bathe ourselves in the river, just wash each other's hair.
We're getting a Polly Pocket live-action movie, and there are two major pieces of information we gotta discuss. The Mumford and Sons guitarist who got backlash for praising Andino's book on Antifa has quit the band. It looks like Brian Stelter's news anchor wife is being accused of racism, imagine that, and you can buy lingerie inspired by George Floyd. I'm AlexClark, and this is POPlitics. 90s girls, this really is our moment. Polly Pocket is getting a live-action movie.
Come to Pollyville, 6 new places to explore. It's the Polly Pocket town you've been wishing for.
There's good news and bad news. The good news is Lily Collins, yes, Emily in Paris Lily Collins, is going to play the role of Polly Pocket.
Everything is perfect.
According to Variety, the film will center on a young girl and a pocket-sized woman who form a friendship. Sounds like me, kinda.
I can deny it no longer. I am small.
The bad news is it's being written and directed by Lena Dunham.
All right, you're hanging out with Hillary Clinton. What are you guys doing?
We're talking about how to rescue girls and women from global oppression, and we're talking about how to steam and preserve our pantsuits.
I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I have a hidden talent. Nailing what cartoon character or animal somebody looks like. Does Lena Dunham not look exactly like a Mercer Mayer little critter? I was a Barbie girl through and through growing up. I didn't even own a Polly Pocket, but I am excited about this because of Lily Collins. If Lily Collins, Reese Witherspoon, or Emma Roberts are involved in anything, then I'm most likely watching.
Good evening, idiot hookers.
Do you remember me telling you a while back about how the guitarist from Mumford and Sons, Winston Marshall, was facing cancellation because he tweeted that he liked, imagine that, Andino's book about Antifa and he called him brave?
Not guilty, of course.
He faced so much backlash just for saying that he enjoyed a book. He ended up apologizing for it, but when he apologized, people just got even angrier at the apology. Way to pull a John Cena, am I right?
但是速度与激情中比冰淇淋速度与激情中我最喜欢，所以现在是因为时间。
Well, now he's quitting the band because he decided he wants to be able to speak freely about politics. Marshall said that as long as I'm a member of the band, speaking my mind on the evils of political extremism could bring them trouble. My loyalty and love for them cannot permit that.
Look at your big brass balls.
Because he's endorsed Andino's book, the left accused him of being a far-right extremist, but he also said nothing could be further from the truth. I condemn unequivocally all political extremism, be it of the right or left.
Yes, preach!
He said he was going to continue working heavily on growing his nonprofit called Hong Kong Link Up, which is a charity that helps integrate people from Hong Kong in the UK. It focuses on those who are escaping the political repression that Hong Kongers are experiencing from China at the moment.
That's badass, dude.
This couldn't have been easy for him, but gosh, it's super awesome that he's taking this stand. How often do we see a celebrity with integrity like this? This is real bravery. Winston said, I could remain and continue to self-censor, but it will erode my sense of integrity, gnaw my conscience. We are all going to have to make this decision at some point. Do we continue going to the university that's discriminating against us, or working for that company that makes you miserable because you're conservative? I had to do the same thing when I left pop radio to do this show. I was terrified, but I knew I had to choose between a career that allowed me to talk for a living, but ironically censored me, or take a huge risk and try to start a show where I wouldn't be censored. It's not always going to be easy, but Winston Marshall woke up today and he chose to fight the culture war. Did you?
Hey kid, you drop this, put your crown back on and riddle me quick.
A bombshell New York Magazine report has revealed that Mr. Thumb, CNN's Brian Stelter, Brian You little freak allegedly has a racist wife who's mean to her black coworkers. Uh-oh. In 2010, Jamie Stelter joined New York One as a traffic reporter, and by 2017 was promoted to morning co-anchor. According to coworkers, that's when the diva behavior started. When did my diva behavior start after I got hired? Before. Particularly disturbing, though, was when Jamie would bully black weather anchor Stacey Ann Gooden with her co-host.
Don't bully me, all right? I can't take it. I was cyberbullied within an inch of my life last night.
Looks like Brian, the woke hall monitor, has missed some halls that he should be patrolling in his own house. Wow, what's the deal with elite leftists the last couple of days not practicing what they're preaching and ignoring people in their own families who behave in a way that would immediately get any conservative canceled? White liberal privilege is real.
These white men are dangerous.
A UK retailer has come out with George Floyd, I can't even say this, George Floyd inspired lingerie.
The hardcore girls just wear lingerie and some form of animal ears.
Doesn't she look great, honey?
Marks and Spencer, more like Marxist Spencer, is honoring the memory of BLM martyr George Floyd by adding 5 new shades to its collection of neutral or nude colored underwear. This inclusive range is inspired by the global conversation on racial inequality prompted by the tragic death of Floyd while in police custody.
Right.
Do you get one of those pairs of bras and underwear free with your own purchase of fentanyl or what? Sorry, but in the words of Marie Kondo, George Floyd lingerie does not spark joy. I'm sure that's exactly what George Floyd wanted when he used to think about what his legacy would look like. Now, here's a question for you. Which cult is worse, the George Floyd cult or the Fauci cult?
Anthony Fauci.
I like that this lingerie line is adding more skin tones. I think that's important. Makeup lines and underwear lines should have as many light and dark shades as possible. But to say that it's honoring George Floyd, a man, by the way, who held a pregnant woman at gunpoint, it's just gross. I don't think any woman has said, you know what I really need? I really need to think about George Floyd while I'm wearing a thong.
Tonight, I'm tearing these out with my teeth like an old school cartoon billy goat.
You can submit questions for me to answer anytime on the link in our bio, and then I read them every Monday for Pop Quiz. At Mrs. Ruitt, I'm a mom-servative. Do you recommend any colleges or universities that won't attempt to brainwash my CUTEservative? Hillsdale and Liberty. We been new.
If they don't want my baby, they're stupid.
I got it! Kayla 17, would you rather fight a crazy man with a power drill or a full-grown jaguar? I think guy with a power drill, even though both of these are terrifying, I just feel like maybe I would be able to outsmart or hide from another human, but I don't know the first thing about dealing with a hungry animal.
Don't mess with the sea life. See you later, stinky.
Patrick Weaver blog. I'm probably one of the few left-leaning followers y'all have who's here for genuine support. So what's one thing that you think left-leaning people get right that conservatives get wrong? Okay, I have to say, I love that you lean left and you still watch POPlitics. I love that. I would start this conversation by saying there is a difference between a leftist and a classical liberal, right? I don't think leftists get anything right, period. I'm not sure that I can think of something that liberals get right that conservatives get full out wrong, but I would say that one thing we have in common is that liberals and conservatives both strongly believe in free speech. And I don't think that conservatives necessarily get this wrong, but I think that we could be better at it, is putting down roots in culture instead of just reporting on it just from the sidelines, right? So I hope that POPlitics really has helped in that regard.
If you saw me, would you call the police?
Anonymous wants to know, so many of the Bachelor contestants in Leeds are Christian, at least they were before the show, and many are conservatives. Why doesn't the show lean into that instead of being held hostage by a racial arsonist like Rachel Lindsay? Okay, the term racial arsonist, brilliant. I mean, it doesn't really matter to Hollywood how many contestants actually have conservative or Christian points of view. Hollywood is pulling the strings and they're going to decide which viewpoints get which platform and how big of a platform they get. Unfortunately, when it comes to Rachel Lindsay, they've learned the hard way now that you give somebody like that a big platform, they're going to destroy you from within. Since 4th of July is this weekend, I am curious, are you taking Friday or Monday off? Make sure you hit the heart. I need to discuss George Floyd Lingerie, the Polly Pocket movie, and the Mumford and Sons guy leaving the band. Make sure you DM this episode to 2 friends. Tell them, hey, I think you would like the show POPlitics, and hit the save button. You can listen to POPlitics, by the way. Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Leave us a 5-star review. That tremendously helps support the show. I will see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. It's pop culture without the propaganda every single day. I'm AlexClark, and this is POPlitics. Click below to watch yesterday's episode. Please subscribe, thumbs up, share this video, and ring the bell for notifications so you never miss the CUTEservative. And make sure you're following this show at POPlitics on Instagram for even more CUTEservative content.